This video contains strong language not suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yes, Nick is my hero. Nick gets inspiration for finding a lamp. A light from here. I'm not going to ask about the marimba.
And
So
how'd you get it in there?
it's 8 o'clock.
It is 8 o'clock. It is go time.
We ain't got shit to do.
I have shit to do. I have to work tomorrow
Same. Me too.
because I've been alternating on and off days. So, welcome back, everybody, to 5% Chance of Disaster. We are down a mic today because
He's got the Sharona.
He does not have the Sharona. It's one of those.
Pour one out for a missing hole.
Pour one out for Robbie, who is currently MIA. Ergen is on the hunt for him. Oh, she has the mouse in her mouth. She wants to play. So yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised if she did. But so last we left off, you all had been rather abruptly transported out of Corimvor back to a very familiar place for some of you, and a somewhat familiar place for the rest of you. You were all zvorped over to Longpike. The mayor had not heard anything from there in a few days and wanted to send currently his most effective group of non-guards folk over to resolve and figure out what the hell's going on over there. Upon arriving, via a teleportation circle in the center of the council room, the council chamber, you guys showed up basically on the main drag of Longpike, and the Longer Pike Inn was on fire with a squad of bugbears surrounding it. And so you recognized the red ribbons tailing off of the javelin over one of the bigger ones, and everyone realized that this is the same bugbear and bugbear chieftain and family and clan that had been accosting you previously. And so naturally y'all went, we're going to kill this man, and proceeded to murder two of his friends. And right before, I believe it was Ronan, and so Ronan, Cora, who is Lythar's lovely wolf companion.
Bork.
So yeah, Ronan, Cora, and Thrall had this bugbear dead to rights. He dropped his weapons and just surrendered, and so the other bugbears surrendered as well. And when pushed about it, the bugbear just said, "Beat you once, that's good enough for my honor," and stood there with Thrall's katana blade resting on his neck. I believe Lami and Thalia are standing pretty close to the burning inn, where you can hear the screams of someone inside, a female voice screaming from inside the burning inn. Are there any questions before we pick up pretty much right where we left off?
Why does the bugbear think it beat us once? He didn't.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You'll have to ask him. You'll have to ask him.
I don't want to ask him. I want to kill him.
Thrall is not going to do it. I'm going to leave my sword on his neck.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of stare at him.
Give me 1 second. I have to write down like one or two more notes.
One.
Yeah, Josh, does beer taste better in a tankard?
It does.
It really does.
I have a tankard, but I only have water in it because I'm a dingus.
So,
Drink
with
your
that,
beer warm like the Canadians.
with that, we'll pick up basically right where we left off. This bugbear is looking Thrall directly in the eyes, and you just see these intelligent golden eyes just staring at you, with the blade resting on right on that artery.
A little bit of blood.
Little bit of blood. And as the blood starts to kind of dribble out of this tiny little cut, make a wisdom save for me. That's the other thing. When you started, you kept feeling this urge to kill and hunt.
It's 17.
Accidentally slices jugular.
You've got the blade up against his neck, and the blood starts to flow, and you feel your pulse start to quicken. Like you just feel that like you're about to get in a fight, but the fight's over. And you take a couple of deep breaths, and it settles back down, and you just keep the blade there. No one else wants to do anything with the bugbear. We can jump over to Lami and Rachel, or Lami and Thalia standing at basically the door of the burning building.
It's not that I don't want to do anything with the bugbear. I'm not ready to know what I want to do.
Okay.
So
I want to ask it why it thinks it beat us once, because it didn't. Jerk.
Maybe it had a dream.
Are we still going in order, or are we just going?
There's no initiative track right now because combat is over.
Okay.
However, what number is that? Okay. So the bugbear is not looking at you, Ronan. He's just staring right at Thrall.
Okay. I'm going to put my hand on its shoulder and say, "You haven't beaten us once. What is this that you're talking about?"
And he keeps staring at Thrall, the guy who's got a actual sword to his neck, and is he just keeps his eyes open, just staring.
Poke him in the back with my sword and ask again, "What are you talking about?"
He kind of stumbles forward a little bit, and the blade kind of cuts along his neck, and it's not lethal or anything. It's just bleeding more, and he just keeps not saying anything.
I'd kick him in the back of his knee and put him to his knees.
Okay. While you're okay, so you're gonna just like drop his knee. Thrall, are you gonna keep your sword there? Are you gonna follow him down with it, or?
I'm not. I'll keep it on his neck. I'll fall him down on the ground.
Okay, because basically the main concern is are you gonna act like?
Well, no. Essentially, is if he's gonna fall down on the ground, I'll just kind of rest it there.
Okay, yeah, he's just like he drops to like his hands and knees, and he stays on his. Actually, yeah, no, he like stumbles and drops to his hands and knees, and is just. That's the first time he breaks eye contact with Thrall, and he's just looking at the ground. He's just waiting.
I'll look at Thrall and go, "And what's going on with Thalia?"
So Thalia and Lami, and anybody else who wants to run over to that little group. I believe the last thing we mentioned was Lami was standing there, somewhat self-satisfied, standing next to the other bugbear who has thrown down his weapons. Thalia ran up and mentioned that there was a person inside the building screaming for help. So that's where we'll pick up.
Don't lie to me. I know you can hear them.
Do I hear them?
Is your perception more than 0? Yes.
Oh, okay.
These are loud, definitely female screams coming from inside. Definitely screaming, "Help me!"
And you want me to just run in there and pick him up and carry him out of here?
I mean, I can help. I just definitely cannot do it alone.
Well, let's go.
Alrighty.
Let's go.
Okay. So the front door is currently open to this place, and you can see as you guys run into this building, it looks like the alcohol has started to catch,
Oh, good.
which is why so much of this building has gone up. This is like, for those of you who were here 2.5 weeks ago, this was a brand new building.
Wow,
Burned down in another
2.5 weeks
mysterious
ago.
accident. Another mysterious incident 2.5 weeks ago. This is a brand new building. It should not have caught on fire as quickly as it has. And as you're kind of looking around, you're seeing bottles behind the bar that are smashed and pools of flame around them. The large, the full-size kegs behind the bar for beer are just scorched at this point. Most of the fire is licking up from the booze bottles and working its way up to the ceiling. There is some coming from, you do see, as you come in on your left, a set of stairs leading upstairs, where you're seeing more flickering firelight coming from up there. And that's where the screams sound like they're coming from.
Well, I'm still on his hippogriff, right?
No, it's outside.
Oh. It's not an inside-sized hippogriff?
Smash cut to the bugbear standing there, like with his hands down at his side. He's looking up, and the hippogriff is just staring at him. It's like, and every time he goes to move, it opens his mouth and chitters a little bit. And he's like,
It's
It's
actually
like fucking
chicken.
Kevin from...
Yes, Kevin.
Yep.
Shoot.
So anyway,
Okay,
you two
so-
inside the building.
Upstairs,
I'm
I
gonna-
think.
I'm gonna run towards the screaming things.
Yeah.
Okay, you run your way up the stairs. Both of you give me Constitution saves.
Oh, why you gotta make it Constitution?
Because your character sheet.
I'm sorry, you have a what? You have a +9 on con saves? I don't want to fucking hear it. Make it an int save next time. Make you hate it.
Oh yeah, that's bad. All right, it's 23 for me.
19 for me.
Okay, so you guys stay low, and a lot of the smoke that's coming from this part of the building, you stay low enough and stay under all of the smoke. And as you come up, you see 2 closed doors and several open doors, and you can hear that the screaming is coming from further down this hallway. And it looks like there's fires going on in a couple of these rooms. Mostly on your left, you're seeing the outside wall of the building. As you run by these open doorways, you're seeing broken windows and what looks like some kind of oil or something on fire on the floor.
Uh-oh.
As you guys run past, you go running down this hallway, and you're seeing more and more of these shattered windows and burning pools of oil, and you finally come to the door at the end of the hall, which is just a solid full. This looks like where the innkeeper or whoever runs this inn would be living. And you hear the screams coming from the other side of the door, but that door is locked.
I'm a fucking drop kick and Judy chop it.
I'm gonna shout
You
before he
chop it?
does that. Ma'am, step back. We're here to help. Stay away from the door.
Give me judo chop.
Also, it's judo, not Judy.
No, it's Judy chop.
What is
Judy chop.
It is not Judy.
It is now.
It is
There's no judo in this world. However, Judge Judy is a wicked martial artist. In this. So
She doesn't even
Thalia,
have legs, okay?
she's a robot. That's the secret. That's why she's so good at drop kicking. And so, Thalia, you shout this warning as Lami comes in, and Lami, give me a sweet strength check, please.
Okie dokie.
You're it up.
Oh, thank God. All right, that is a 25.
Is that a crit?
No,
You
I
have-
have a plus.
It's
10
not a
for
it's not a
strength.
save.
Oh,
It's a straight up check, friendo.
then it's just plus 5. Then it's just 20.
It's just a
But
dirty
it's
20.
A dirty 20.
The door
So
stands
are you doing
resolute.
a two or like a run and jump and like kick with both feet, or are you just like dropping your foot into the door like a fireman? What's your
I want to drop kick it. I want to run and jump
Sweet
with
chin
both
music,
both
that
feet
door.
in the comical way that
hit
happens.
Hit it with that sweet chin music. Okay. Give me a dex save real quick.
A dex save on the door.
Not on the door. Give me a dex save real quick.
The door
Okay.
reaches out and hits you.
Okay, that's a 19 on the dex save.
Okay. Why am I making you do saves? I need to not do this. So Thal, you get out this warning and you kind of get gently pushed aside, very gently for his size, as Lami like just puts his sword away and runs and does this leaps, hucks into a ball, and gets both feet against the door and just pushes, and the entire door basically just the hinges don't hold in the jam, and the door just goes in. The door just, to your eyes, just disappears into the room. When he lands, the, I don't know, 350, 400 pounds of plate mail wearing dragon.
Easy there, buddy. Easy.
You are dense.
You're a big boy.
Sorry, 300. We'll say around
I
300.
only weigh 280 pounds.
Before or after the plate?
Before.
Okay, so 330 pounds of dragon and plate mail hits the floor, and the floor starts to
What
get
am I
away.
carrying? Oh, I'm carrying 150 pounds worth of stuff, so
450.
Easy 400 pounds of dragon hits the deck. And the floor starts to cave, but Lami, you're able to kind of get your bearings and get back up before the floor collapses out from under you. Inside the room, you see two people and the body of a third.
oh,
You see a red-haired woman in an apron and like a gingham shirt and a long flowing dress. She's the one screaming hysterically inside this room.
what's the body look like?
The
my
body is also
Oh.
on fire.
Oh,
Yes, Chris.
I thought he was asking what the red-headed woman's
No.
body
No,
looked
no.
That's
why-
It's a PG
that's why
channel.
the
I
dead
had
body on the floor.
I was like, come on, Josh. And I was like, oh, the dead body.
I guess.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
So the
Oh,
so the body in sort of in the corner of the room looks like. Give me investigation check, and Thalia, if you would also like to. Actually, while we're doing this, Thalia, what would you like to do as he's checking out the body?
Is there a safe path out through the door? Like, can I encourage the people to come follow us to safety?
Give me perception or investigation, whichever is higher.
Probably perception. Yeah, perception.
So while you're rolling that, Lami, the body you're looking at looks like.
I didn't even tell you what I rolled yet.
Sorry, go on. What did you roll?
4.
This body looks
Fire.
like it burned to death.
Oh, okay.
Like this dude just you know that this is what happens when shit gets set on fire. And this dude looks like he was set on fire.
He's overcooked.
Oh yes, he is charred and crispy.
Mm.
And Thalia, what did you get?
21.
21. So, there's a couple of options out of here. You could go out the shattered window next to the smoldering corpse, and because the way behind you, the fire has lasted long enough, and the wind has picked up that you're starting to get a lot of extra smoke and flame down that hallway. If you left right now, you could make it. Judging how this woman is reacting, and the man who's next to her is trying to like calm her down. That would be you could go either way. It would probably be more dangerous to try to take her out the front door than out the window.
Okay.
And Lami, as you turn and look at the rest of the room, you recognize that the man who is with this hysterical woman is an older looking man with mutton chops and an eye patch.
Oh, geez.
And he looks like he's wearing some sort of badge on his shirt. And he looks up at you and goes, "You again. Are you always here when a building burns down, or is it just bad luck?"
Bad luck. Let's go.
Out through the window.
And I'm just going to pick him up and I'm going to run down the hallway.
Him or both of them?
Both of them.
Oh, God.
Okay, give me a strength check, please.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, give me 2.
That is a 22.
Okay.
And another one.
Give me another one.
Another one. And that's just a dirty 20.
Okay. So you managed to actually. So you grab the constable and just like, let's go. And you grab him by the front of his shirt, and he just kind of rolls with it at this point. Because he's like, oh, okay. The woman, on the other hand, sees a enormous dragon-faced being in her on-fire building and freaks out. And she takes off down the hallway without you. And is trying, like, she's running, screaming, looking behind her and trying doors, like trying any of the closed doors on her way by. And she guns it.
I'm just gonna with the dude on my one shoulder. I'm just gonna kind of shrug, and I'm gonna chase her out of the building.
Okay. So you're actively gonna just try and like horrify this woman out of the building.
I'm just gonna scare her right out of the building.
Okay.
You should give her the good old Foos Roda on the way out.
I wish
I don't think I even need to make any noise. I think I'm just gonna generally
like roar
jog
and
in that
be
direction. Just gonna jog in that direction because she's already terrified.
Okay. Give me. I want to make this an animal handling check because you're trying to hurt her, but I don't know if it's animal handling or like intimidation. I don't know what this check would be.
I think performance.
Are you pretending to be scary, or are you just like using the fact that she's horrified of you to try and get her out of the building?
I'm just using that fact. I'm just like, yep, here we go.
That honestly sounds like animal handling to me, because that's like or persuasion.
Like you're trying to scoot a rat out of
you're trying to herd her.
You pick your
I think
favorite.
it's a medicine check.
Because you have a +7 to persuasion. That's
do.
why I really want it to be animal handling. Because
we all know how it goes when Lami tries to handle animals.
No.
Let's
The hippogriffs.
let's do a persuasion check.
Okay.
Thalia, are you going to follow him, or are you gonna take your own way out the window? Yes, the paladin does.
17, by the way.
For justice.
Can I just look in the hallway and see what's happening first?
Yeah, you see this older man with an eye patch who's over Lami's shoulder like a sack of grain, and he's facing you. He is like just getting carried around like a toddler, and he just goes, "Ma'am, stay calm. Go out the window. I don't know. I'm just along for the ride. I would get out quickly though."
Is the woman being herded?
The woman is running down the hall. Think of it like the scene from Shrek in the very beginning when they're like, "Oh, back," and Shrek is just like, yeah, no, like it's whatever. Like, you're not scary. So Lami is walking very casually with this
Okay.
with the constable over his shoulder, and the woman is just moving down the stairs.
All right, it looks like she's gonna make it out though.
She's definitely making it down the stairs.
Oh god. Okay, out the window I go.
Okay.
I really wanted you to just sit down like that meme that the whole house is burning and just like, this is fine.
This is fine. Everything's fine.
Don't tempt me.
Our first player death.
Suicide by burning
For the
building.
meme.
For the memes.
So Thalia, you're gonna do like a dive out the window, or are you gonna try and lower yourself down with something? What's your plan?
Do I feel like I have enough time to try to lower myself down?
You could. It's not far. You're only on the second story. It's definitely a jump you could make if you felt like it, or you can. You could, with a little bit of time, hook up a bed sheet and like jump down and.
I'll
Hey,
just jump.
you should jump.
Okay. Give me a deck save to stick the land, or give me an acrobatics check to stick the landing.
Okay.
Forget what I was quoting, but it's from something.
I think it's from Dr. Doolittle.
Acrobatics.
Is it?
Yeah, when the
Could've been.
tiger is standing up at the top and he's like, "Jump, you big pussy," because he's a big tiger.
That's a 5.
Splat.
So on you're thinking of you're kind of settling your feet, and you're like, all right, okay, cool, this is fine. You've seen this before.
This is fine. Everything's fine.
You've seen this. You've seen performers do it. This is like, it's basically just tumbling with a longer fall.
Yep.
This will be fine. And as you go out the window, your foot catches on the sill, and you tumble a little bit, and you tuck and roll and burn most of your momentum. But you take 2 points of damage from the landing. You just you land wrong. You kind of wrench your shoulder a little bit on the roll.
Yeah.
Josh, was that a burp?
Yep.
It was a dragon grumble.
From
okay?
from the soul.
That was deep.
It was from the soul.
So the I think Maury, you're the only person who's actually, Maury and probably Lythar see Thalia take this tumbling swan dive out the second floor window and land basically right next to kind of right next to the hippogriff.
Speaking of hypocrites, real quick, I went through the first episode and I found that you guys, Lami wanted to open the door with the mating hippogriffs.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I made the animal handling joke, because he tried to pet him.
He tried to hug it and
and,
got
then
away.
they, and then they tried to
makes
kill
sense.
us.
I really
Yeah.
like hippogriffs.
And now he has a magical celestial hippogriff.
This one has to like me.
That would be hilarious if it didn't, though. It just like had to listen to you, but it was
time
mildly
you
annoyed
summon
at
it-
everything you said.
Hey Lami, in the meantime, can you read, just like quietly to yourself, read the description of Friends for me, just so we're all on the same page? Or Charm Person, actually. So
Charm person.
So Thalia, you like kind of brush it off and shake off the landing, and the bugbear and hippogriff are both looking at you. And as you stand up and make eye contact, they both like look back down.
Good. I keep staring for a second and then go around to the front of the building.
And so, Lami, you, with the constable over your shoulder, are able to basically terrify this woman out the door. So a few seconds, Thalia, after you like stand up and like kind of brush yourself off, you hear the screaming. You hear the Doppler effect of the screaming as it's coming closer. And this woman just pelts out of the building, looking over her shoulder, completely horrified. And
Ma'am.
She's out of the building though.
she is out of the building. You have succeeded in your task.
Exercise 10-4.
Are you standing in front of the doorway, Thalia?
I am not like I intend to block her.
Okay.
Just kind of placatingly, no threat. Just kind of trying to, ma'am, can you tell me your name?
She doesn't even acknowledge that you're there. She is just over her shoulder and just plows right through. And she just keeps screaming. So everyone surrounding this bugbear hears the screaming exit the building and become much louder and much more shrill. And you hear her, as she gets further into the street, you start hearing her yell the word dragon. Dragon! And she just runs. And then she runs into a building on the other side of the street. And
Is
just
it
falls
also
over.
on fire?
No. She basically just like ran face first into the porch post across the street and just like clocked herself out.
Just like me in college.
Just like you like yesterday.
I'm gonna go over to her. So she just knocked herself out there.
Yep. The hysterics of everything, the hubbub. She just cold clocked herself on this porch post and is like just unconscious. The adrenaline has finally started to wear off and she needs a nap.
This is fine.
I kind of look over to Lythar. I'm like, should we help them or just leave them do their thing?
I'm gonna look over at them. Then I'm gonna look at the chief. Then I'm gonna look at the other bugbear, make sure he's still standing there, which he is. Correct? He hasn't like booked it while we were on.
The other bugbear is like not making eye contact with his hippogriff who's guarding him.
So I'm gonna look at the other bugbear quick and be like, "Why isn't he talking to us?" Like, as in the chief.
You're
The chief's
asking
in-
the little bugbear, or you're asking the chief bugbear why the little bugbear isn't talking to us?
I'm asking the little bugbear why the chief isn't talking.
The smaller bugbear kind of looks up and goes. He opens his mouth and that comes out for some reason. No, he.
I just imagine just
Just random Shakira. So he kind of like looks up. He's like, "Oh, he'll only he surrendered. His life belongs to whoever he surrendered to. He won't talk to anybody else, sir."
I'm just gonna do one of these like, and look over at Thrall like.
Thrall
you,
now
buddy.
owns a bugbear.
Exactly. And I'm just gonna look at Maury and go, "Well, that's all I got. Let's go help
It's
them."
a Jar Jar Binks situation.
I'm gonna walk over to
so happy.
Talia and the whole shenanigans over there.
Lamy, what are you doing with the constable as you leave the building?
Still holding him.
The constable at this point.
Am
As you leave the
I out of the building?
Yes, you have left the building.
I'm just gonna kind of place him. Like I'm just gonna pick him up and just
Gently put him down.
I mean, not overly gently, but not just slam. I'm just gonna.
Okay. And as you put him down, he kind of stands up a little bit, fixes his uniform, fixes his hat, readjusts the eye patch a little bit. He goes, "Thank you. That was not how I expected my morning to go."
Me either, Mr. Mustache.
Mr. Mustache.
Thank you for helping out. I couldn't get Patty to leave. She was hysterical, as you could probably guess.
I'm gonna look around and go, "Who's Patty?"
Patty, the innkeeper's wife, who you politely herded from the building.
Oh, I saved her.
Yes, you did. Thank you. Thank you for saving her.
I didn't want to go out the window because I didn't want to break the window of your lovely inn.
It's already broken, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't want to break it more.
At this point, the townsfolk, especially hearing the phrase "dragon" screamed in a horrified woman's voice, the people have kind of exited their houses, and the main street is starting to fill up with the locals, and they're starting to get buckets and starting to they're not actually they're not taking the buckets into the building. They're starting to douse the stables behind the building and the houses nearby, because as you guys are having this conversation, you start to see flames licking up through the inside of the building and snaking its way up to the roof. And this building, like many of the buildings you seem to have run across, is basically a lost cause.
I'm gonna drag the bugbear by the back of his little armor collar over. I'm gonna look at Thrall and be like, let's go over there. And I'm just gonna drag him along the ground over towards the rest of our jolly bunch.
Shouldn't we tie him up first? Just in case.
Do I have anything that I can tie him up?
You have 30 feet of chain attached to your hip.
Yeah, I'm going to tie him up with the chain, but keep it attached to my hip, and then drag him with the chain attached to my hip.
Did he surrender to you or to Thrall?
Well, he didn't speak to me, so Chris
me,
is
but
assuming. Yeah.
Yeah, Lythar, you and Maury are the main people with that information. Because Lami's been talking to the constable, and Thalia is checking in on this woman who's cold clocked herself against the building on the other side of the street.
Oops.
We're the people with the information that he is a servant to.
That he has
now.
yielded to Thrall specifically.
Okay.
What's Cora doing? Is Cora back with you, or is she?
She's with me, but I was about to try something.
Okay.
So we're all by the lady who's just knocked out, right?
Did
Did we walk over there? Well, more than I
walked
did.
over there. Yeah.
We did.
Yeah. You guys moseyed over.
Cora's with me. I don't look at Cora, and I'm just kind of. I don't want to say anything. I'm just kind of motion towards the body, and I just want her to start sniffing it, her face, to see if it'll wake her up or anything, or maybe give a little
just see if she's okay.
Yeah, nuzzle the face a little bit, see if she'll wake up from that.
Give me an animal handling check, because that's a very specific request.
Oh shit. Good thing I should be a pro at this. If I fail this roll,
this wolf you've had for 12 hours.
Is she gonna poop on her if I mess this up?
God, I hope so.
That's a 16.
Okay. So she looks up at you, and you look over and you kind of give her the head jerk, and Cora kind of walks over and does a cursory once over, kind of sniffing around her, and she kind of nuzzles at her face, and gives her cheek a lick, licks her a couple times, and then circles back and sits next to you, and just kind of looks up. She doesn't look alarmed or perturbed or anything. She's just kind of eh.
So I just reach down, give her some pets, scratch behind the ear.
Give her some pets.
Give her some pets.
Animal handling. Pets do not require an animal handling check most of the time. So as the rest of the town is pouring out, people are now starting to notice the moderate assortment of hooligans that have rolled into this town, recognizing a few of you.
Is my cape okay?
Your cape made it through. It's a little smoking. There's no major damage, but it adds a very cool there's the fringe at the end has some embers in it, so you get this really nice wafting smoke. Nothing is actively burning.
Nice.
It's a very nice dramatic effect as you're speaking with the constable. towering over this constable, might I add.
He's just a little guy.
He's an average sized human, and you are not. So and so as people are starting to pour out, the constable, excuse me, and steps out and starts sort of wrangling the crowd and coordinating more of the firefighting efforts and generally keeping a lot of the panic away from the dragon that this woman was just yelling about. And the elf with the glowing iridescent wolf and the Goliath who's basically hauling a bugbear, or like any of the general supernatural mystical phenomena that these people aren't necessarily used to. This is a small community of farmers, not Korivore. These are people that are not used to seeing this level of magic running around.
On that note, I'm getting back on my hippogriff.
Okay.
How big is this hippogriff?
Bigger than me.
It's big enough to carry him.
Gotcha.
It's a big one. And as are you guys all? So what would y'all like to do as things are kind of settling down?
Can I go chat with Mr. Constable?
Are you taking Frank with you?
Sure.
Yeah. So at first the constable doesn't. I'm sorry. I'll let you.
Excuse me, Mr. Constable guy.
And he looks around and he looks directly at Frank. And he's like,
No, down here.
"Oh, I'm very sorry, sir. How can I help you?"
So what exactly just happened? I know your place is on fire, but
Well, it's not my place. It belonged to the innkeeper and his wife. Unfortunately, it's just the wife's now. The innkeeper didn't make it out. We were having breakfast upstairs in their room, and flask of oil came in and caught him right in the face and caught him on fire. And that's when we realized that things were going poorly.
that's terrifying. I'm sorry.
It was and he kind of laughed. He's like, "Well, it's better than it's better than how I lost the eye. So I'll take what I could get. Luckily, I only had to see it through one eye. Poor Patty, she got both barrels."
Do you think Patty's gonna be okay?
Kind of looks over. He's like, "Yeah, she'll be fine. If she's not, we'll help her through it."
So what do you think? Do you think these dudes, and I point over to like the bugbears, do you think they actually did this?
I'm not sure. Like I said, I was inside when this all happened. Normally, I'm the one doing the interrogations. This is.
Hey,
is this
I'm just
what it
trying
is
to
like.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. That's all.
No,
We
I
just kind of like got teleported here, and then the place was on fire. So I'm just like, I don't know what's going on.
teleported.
Yeah, it's
Must have
a
been.
long story, but
Must have been expensive. Who sent you?
I think it was Ergon.
The mayor.
It was the mayor of other place, Korivore.
Can we all hear this?
Yeah, if you guys want to
Them
like
talking?
kind of huddle up as the the people are definitely giving you guys a wide berth. And the
I
constable
have
seems to be
written down mayor equals boiling bottle. I don't think that's right.
that is incorrect.
Mhm.
Boiling
No.
bottle was the potion shop we went to.
The potion shop who modified Robbie's eyes.
Right.
Can I
Yeah.
like bottle in real quick? Just because. So I was gonna say like after he was like, "Who did this? Blah blah blah. Where'd you come from?" I'm just gonna be like, "Yo, I have an idea. I'm gonna look at it through all. Ask the chieftain if they did this."
Why?
Thrall, trust me. Just do it. He'll only talk to you. Guarantee it.
I just kind of look down at the chieftain and say, "Did you guys burn down this establishment?"
Yes.
And Lathar's just gonna go.
Is he telling the truth?
Yes. Yeah, he is telling the truth.
He is your bitch now.
Well, what is the reason for this?
May I stand?
Yes, you may.
And he
I'm
kind
not
of
sure why you're asking me that.
very slowly stands up and puts his hands, or no, he's tied up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
he gets to his feet. He's still
untie
like,
his feet, right?
yeah, he's chained to me, not necessarily like.
okay. So like, but his hands are like, he's restrained, and he kind of gets his feet under him and stands up and he goes, "We had to kill the Shining Eye." And he looks directly at the constable. He goes, "You are the reason our clan is in danger. You've been sending the beasts against us. With you dead, the attacks will stop. And we will leave your people alone."
Just kind of look over the constable and say, "What is he talking about?"
Plot twist?
Constable, it's just like, "Well, this is awkward.
Yeah, what's under that eye patch, Mr. Constable?
Well," and he takes, he's like, "Might as well," and he lifts the patch, and you see inside the socket is what looks like a gleaming metal eye. And it looks real. It's not just like somebody stuck like a metal sphere. It has an iris. It has all of the parts that look like an eye. And Maury, as you're looking at it, as he turns, you're seeing the iris open and close with the sunlight. For all intents and
I feel like that's a little bit too high tech for a man of your stature, Mr. Constable. Where'd you get that?
It's like, well, it's a funny story. And from back down the road, you hear, "Constable, good morning," and you hear, "Ka-choom, ka-choom, 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 ka-choom," and a gnome riding on what looks like some sort of like exoskeleton, and he just looks like he's just walking. Less Darth Maul, more like an ATST. For the Star Wars fans at home, so like just like a set of leg extensions with like a platform on it, and he's working these levers, and he's just like, and he comes over and sort of squats the unit down, and he hops off and he goes, "Constable, good morning. I heard there was some excitement. I don't know what's going on." And he kind of looks at him and goes, "Well, good morning, friends. What can I help you with?"
I just kind of grunt and curtsy. That's 7.
It's hard to curtsy with a bugbear chained to your hip. So you get
more
low,
you know.
but like your balance is a little off. It's more of like instead of like a full bore like dress salute. This is very much just like yeah whatever. Not meant out of disrespect, just like we don't have time for this shit. So anyway, DP, you were in the middle of saying something. I apologize.
How the heck? How did you build that? And I start like pulling out like a notepad, and I kind of like start drawing kind of what it looks like.
And this gnome looks at you and goes, "Oh, good morning. My name is Reggie Redding. I am the sole. Well, proprietor. Am I the proprietor? I am the owner and proprietor of Redding's Rovy Roadster of Restoratives."
Can you say that again?
Do I know where this? Do I
Give-
know this?
Give me a history check, please. For those of you taking notes at homes, Reading Roving Roadster of Restoratives.
See, history.
History
I
gods.
don't know what my
Brandon, exactly. What?
it doesn't get better. Trust me.
That is my favorite GIF probably of all time.
History's +6. Oh my god, 19.
So Reading is a familiar name because in Spring Socket there was another family of Reddings.
Okay. Have we done business with them by any chance?
They weren't necessarily in your family's line of work. With a 19, this was a shop a little further outside of town called Redding's Relics. Redding's Relics, richly rewarded for real rarities. And they were mostly they were kind of the Pawn Stars of Spring Socket. People would bring in magical or really interesting items, and they would turn them for profit. So they had a lot of really interesting people come in and really interesting objects. Some of them were actual relics. Some of them were junk, but they would try and flip it and pawn it however they could. If they weren't bad people, they did not create, so they didn't run across your they didn't come across your radar as much.
The name sounds familiar. From Spring Socket?
I left some time ago after the trouble that happened at the Patent Palace. It just like I felt that I needed to distance myself from my family's line of work and do something on my own. Terrible, dreadful things that happened there. But I decided to go out and do some good. So I go around and I help people that I find. I specialize in synthetic replacements, as you can see in our good constable here. I made that. It took a lot longer than I would have liked, and it just happened that it fit the constable on the first try. Otherwise, I'd still be making edits to it.
That's pretty dang impressive.
Well, why, thank you. It's a specialty of mine. I always liked making things, not trying to sell things that other people brought for me.
Me too.
What's your name? Are you from Spring Socket?
No, I'm not from Spring Socket, but my name's Maury. I've been to Spring Socket before.
Oh, okay. Maury, nice to meet you. And he reaches out his hand for a handshake.
I give him a nice firm
handshake. He goes, and is this your... He like gives a quick look around. He's like, are these your friends? Oh my goodness. And he runs right to Frank and he like pulls out a pair of jeweler's spectacles. One is longer, one is like a long narrow one, and one is very squat and wide, and he pops them both into his socket and goes, wow. Is he custom?
I built him myself. It's been a long time running, but
yeah, I can tell. He looks honestly, he looks great. I've never seen one quite this heavily decked out, though.
I mean, he helps around the place. We do a lot of work in the field, so I had to make him pretty beefy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, deep time Mr. Voice Cracks.
He's like around the. Oh, and he pops out the jeweler's glasses and puts them in a pocket. He goes, I am terribly rude. Hello, I'm Reggie Redding. You could just call me Reggie. It's nice to meet all of you very tall people.
Yep, now you know how I feel on a daily basis.
Oh. I'll wait for the train to go by. Give it a minute.
He's just really gazing upon us.
I like trains. Meow.
Like
I like turtles.
I'm turtle.
He's
Hello.
like, I'll make the rest of I'll do some introductions later when I can actually get up to some of your impressive heights. But as I was saying, yes, I made this eye for the constable. I made it and it fit, and he offered me food and shelter when I came into town a few days ago. So I've been helping out with some of the local families, replacement limbs and things like that, fixing a water wheel or two, small things, but doing what I can. What are you all doing here?
Well,
Is everyone okay?
Yeah, who was that? Who just died?
Something fell off my desk and I
Oh,
don't.
okay. Well, we were sent by the mayor of Coramvor because he hadn't heard from this illustrious town in a few days. So we were promptly teleported to the main square, where we dispatched several of these intruders. And now apparently we're going to question this one.
All right, well, that's not quite what I signed on for. I'll leave you to it then. I would say we should be for drinks at the inn, and as he kind of turns, the roof of the inn collapses inward and just huge gouts of flame start pouring up through the smokies. But that seems to be a lost cause.
Where is the mayor and his wife? I don't remember the names. I don't know where I put my older notes.
I think we're looking for Lady Cost.
Lady Cost.
yeah.
The constable goes, well, the mayor Peterson took a group of some of my deputies out to actually make their way to Coramvor and pass along the news of these attacks that we'd been experiencing and bring one of the slaughtered livestock that we felt had the most clear markings.
Were the bugbears doing this? I poked the bugbear. Does he say anything?
The constable looks at Ronan, looks over at Thrall.
Oh goodness, this is going to be one of those relay the question things. Thrall, can you ask this lovely bugbear if his group of miscreants have been the ones dismembering cattle?
Why do I have to ask?
Because he won't answer anyone else, and if he doesn't answer, then I'm going to poke him with my sword.
Why are we trying to get answers out of this bugbear again?
Because he knows things, and I want to know them.
So the constable,
I would like to know things. I would like to know things.
Man,
the constable's saying that they're killing the livestock.
No, the constable said that the mayor went out with several deputies with one of the dismembered livestock to go to Coramvor to ask for help. And I had the bright idea that it was probably the bugbears killing the cattle. So I wanted to find out from Mr. Bugbear if it was them, so then we would know if it was the bugbears killing the cattle.
Does this bugbear have a name?
You can ask him.
Okay, I'm going to ask him what his name is so we stop calling him Mr. Bugbear.
He looks up and he goes, my name is Kidik. And that is Stank. And he gestures over at the smaller bugbear.
Stank. Did you give him that name?
And he kind of looks over at Stank and kind of gestures you closer. She gestures you closer more. He's like, I won't hurt you. That's his family name. And yes.
So he answered him without me?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Breaking character? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm calling them
I'm just gonna
BB
kinda-
for
I'm
short.
just
So
gonna
he's just not
laugh.
answering Ronan. That's funny. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just ask him to just answer Ronan's question.
What was the question?
Are you and your band of bugbears responsible for killing and dismembering these people's cattle?
No.
Do you
We
know
have no
who
need
is?
for it.
He just told you.
But do you know who is?
No.
Are the monsters attacking you people, or are they something else? If you don't start answering me, I'm getting really mad about this.
Rage!
I rage.
He looks up at you, Ronan, and goes, I don't know.
Then just say that and be done with it!
But what's this about Bright Eye over here
And what's
sending the
wrong with
monsters after the
him?
bugbears?
What bugbears are attacking? What?
I'm looking. I'm like questioning the constable.
The constable's like, I received this eye about a week ago, and there's apparently this is the first I've heard of any attacks on anything outside of Longpike. We've had these issues with cattle being attacked, but nothing outside of cattle and a few horses.
Who told you?
So-
who told the bugbears then that you sent the monsters?
How should I know? Pardon me for being blunt, but I don't talk to savage primitives that attack people. And Keelik just kind of looks up and growls, but doesn't move.
Is he telling the truth?
The constable? Or Keelik?
Yes.
Pick one.
Constable first.
The constable is telling the truth.
So he has no. So he's not the one sending anything to them.
Yes. He is his understanding that he is not his lack of interaction, his understanding of what's been happening. He legitimately did not know the bugbears were being attacked by it.
Okay.
So, Mr. Keelik, what is attacking your people?
Looks down and goes, metal things.
Oh. Are they like little and scuttly and have little eggs?
Do I look like I would be afraid of something tiny?
Well,
Little-
there's
Light
a
bulb-
lot of them.
Like
I want to
those-
look closer at the constable's eye.
As he said, he's not. Would he be scared? I'm gonna be like, well, you tried to run. You ran away from us once, and then tried to run away from us again. So I mean,
Are you trying to get under his skin like that? Or you just
How many hit points do you have?
not. If you let him attack me, I swear, I only have 40.
He's also still chained up and attached to Ronan.
He could bite you.
Um,
I mean,
Fel-
I'm assuming that would get under his skin.
he looks at you. He's like,
Technically,
It's
he
tough.
ran from us 3 times.
this was not a fight for you. Our fight was not with you this time. The other two, who's to say?
Just saying,
did
we
just
won
say-
both of those. You
yeah,
ran
we-
twice. Just saying.
Thalia, you
So
wanted
who's
to
your
look
fighter?
closer at the eye.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Can I? I'm gonna
Does it
ask
have
the constable,
legs?
Just awkwardly staring at his face. Just like,
Sorry, go
Does
ahead.
it hurt? Like, can you feel things, or is it completely separate?
He kind of looks at you and he goes, "Well, it's not just a replacement. Certainly not a perfect fix, but it's getting there. Reggie helps make a few modifications every once in a while, and it's actually better." And he's like, I can sort of see, I can see objects, faces I have trouble with until I get very close, but we're getting there.
May I? This is gonna sound weird. May I touch it?
Do you want it in or out of my head when you touch it?
Whatever you're comfortable with.
wink.
He goes, this, he goes, one moment. This part I get a little embarrassed about. And he turns around away from all of you towards the burning building and just goes, he like whacks himself in the back of the head. And Reggie goes, Constable, there's a gentler way to do that. As the constable turns around with his eye patch down and this shining eye in his hand, he goes, yes, Reggie, but nothing's quite as quick. Frankly, I want it to be done quickly. And he hands the eye over to, he sort of reaches out his hand with the eye in it to you, Thalia. He goes, go ahead, take a look. Master Gnome, if you would like to look as well, I can.
I would.
Thank you.
Can I also ask Reggie? Can I call you Reg, or it's got to be Reg?
I normally I'm a little defensive, and normally I prefer people to call me Reggie or Mr. Reddy, but
No, that's fine.
I know, call me Reg. It's been a long time since I've seen another dwarf or another gnome. I'm terribly sorry.
Did you make this eye from scratch?
I cast Identify on the eye.
Okay.
What is
Identify on the eye with core
Also,
and core
I'm
and
just
vor by
grabbing
the
a-
door.
I'm just grabbing a beer because they're probably cold. I can still hear you, but don't make me make any.
Yeah.
So identify. You have identify as a ritual, which takes 10 minutes.
I have to
To
identify
cast.
as the first level.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Holy shit! Look at that.
Surprise!
It can be cast as a ritual if you don't want to burn a spell slot.
I
That's
know.
what that is. So you cast identify. It just looks like a very advanced prosthetic. That's picking up on. There's no replacement for the optical nerve,
Mm-hmm.
so it just kind of like pops in. The closest thing you'd seen to compare it to is Robbie's eye when he got them replaced at the burning bottle or the boiling bottle from that Warforged. It follows that same kind of mechanism, except this one is much more. There's a lot more fine tuning and in small clockwork and gear work in there.
Okay. It says if there are any spells affecting the item, I learn what they are. And I guess I was trying to figure out whether this has any bits of Modron.
There's no. The only magic is really what's connecting it to the brain, to the rest of where the eye should be.
Okay.
It's not necessarily doing like arcane sight or anything. It's just giving like traditional vision.
Okay.
But there is no. You don't get the same feeling that you did off of core, because I believe
Okay.
like your interaction with core is your only exposure to Modrons and that sort of like mechanical magic.
Yes.
So this does not feel like that. This feels this feels more like Frank than it does Core.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's like this is the hybrid between Robbie and Frank. If we're trying to find a
Gotcha.
parallel to that. So what was your question, DP? I'm sorry.
I was just asking if he built it from scratch or if he had.
I this has been a pet project of mine. I will say I did find someone many years ago brought an orb of true sight into my parents' shop, and they haggled over it and they got it at a steal because that's what they were always proud of. But I always thought that would be so useful if you didn't have to carry this bulky orb with you, if you could just like have it as your eye. Unfortunately, my brother was much better at magic. Robert, he was much better at the magic of it than I was, but I had the fingers for the mechanics. And so I figured I can try and make one. And who knows, maybe I'll find someone who can turn this into an eye of true sight and, give somebody back their vision or even more than just what they could normally see. Why not, right?
True. Yeah. Not too shabby, I gotta admit. You did a pretty good job.
Thank you. I have plenty of other stuff in the old wagon if you wanna see some of the other things I'm working on.
Sure. I mean,
I'm gonna hand
in a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Of course.
All right. Do you want to look at this some more, Maury, or should I give
No,
you that?
I think
All right. I'm gonna pass the constable his eye back.
Takes
Thank
it very
you.
gracious. Thank you. Give me one moment, and he pulls out a little handkerchief and kind of like wipes it off really cleanly. Excuse me. Sorry.
No, sorry, it's not related. I'm not trying to interrupt. All I'm thinking about is from Pirates of the Caribbean, with the guy's eye keeps falling out. I was like, puts it back.
It's a slightly better fit.
That's good.
But he like polishes off and goes, excuse me again, and turns it. You do hear an audible pop as it goes in. He goes, so anyway, I'm assuming the fact that I have something metal attached to my face is why these miscreants have been attacking, despite no evidence that I had anything to do with what's attacking them.
Do we know where these creatures have been attacking?
Mostly outlying farms and places farther away from people. Nothing too populated.
Have you had any people? Have you had any people like disappear completely?
No. Any disappearances we've gone at, anyone who goes missing for more than a few hours, we normally hunt down. We don't want anyone else being dragged off by those.
But no, like completely missing bodies, right?
No. Though, come to mention it, part of why I was in town this morning was I wanted to check in on Lady Cost. And she is normally back by now. She takes a walk around the village every morning, but she hasn't been back.
Where was she last?
I saw her last night. We had drinks. Since the mayor was gone, I had a drink or two with her and made sure that she was secure in her household. And knowing who she is, that's normally not a concern. But it's good to be concerned. But this morning I went by and she wasn't there. And then the building was on fire, and frankly, it's been a very distracting morning.
How long has the mayor and your deputies been on their way to Corumvor? When did they leave?
2 days ago. First thing in the morning. They wanted to get as far as they could in the daylight.
Do we know how far away that would put them in relation to, like, that Tunnel of Wonders?
It took you guys 3 days to get to Corumvor, and
We
that
were
was,
also hauling boogie butts.
you guys were moving at a quick pace. It took you 3 days, so it probably if they were moving at that same speed, they're a day away. If they were moving a little slower, add an extra day or two.
Well, Mr. Constable guy, it seems like you got a lot on your plate. You want us to go try and find Lady Cost, and we're trying to find her anyway.
And he kind of looks around. You know, I feel like, no offense to those of you whom I've visited with before, but I feel like the less you people are in town, the less rambunctious the townsfolk will be.
Pretty rude for us offering to help you.
I wasn't refusing. I would greatly appreciate your help. As you can tell, I'm a little short-staffed, with most of my deputies on the road to Corumvor, worried about God knows what attacking them in the woods. But
I'm gonna grin.
I would greatly appreciate the help, and I'll see if I can find the last reported attack or which way Lady Cost takes her normal walk. She changes it every so often, but I'll see if someone has run into her.
Is there something that she always has on her? A necklace or a hairpin?
Mm-hmm. That's an interesting question.
Ooh.
She always has a pair of riding boots that she only uses for her morning walks. But that's unfortunately it, I'm afraid.
Thank you, that might help.
Thalia gave me an idea.
Doggo sniff.
Yes. Mr. Krabs, I have an idea.
Nice.
Thank you. That was pretty spot on, if you ask me.
That's pretty good.
Thank you. I'm gonna kind of interject and be like, do you know of any belongings of hers that are still here in town that we could get our hands on? My wolf here, Cora, has the best nose all around, and that might help us try to track her down and find her if we have nothing else to work with.
Constable goes, well, yes, her house is just up that way. A few of you may remember where it is from your previous stay. And Reggie jumps up on his mechanism and rises up. And he's like, so he's standing at so his head is at normal talking height. So like it's level with like the constable and Lythar, and Thalia. He goes, I can, Constable, you deal with all this hubbub and mess. I'll take them to Lady Cost's house and check in on a few people over there. I need to make my round to my normal batch of patients as well, so I can take them. Constable was like, all right, Reggie, well, good luck. And Constable turns, and as he's turning and walking a little closer to the building, the sides of the building collapse in, and the whole thing is fucking gone. And Patty at this point has regained consciousness, and she's surrounded by a group of other women in the village, and she's just sobbing and watching her inn burn to the ground.
Again.
Sad
I'm just
facts.
gonna go, hi, Patty, and start walking towards Lady Costs with a chained up bugbear in tow, I guess.
The chained up bugbear is Keelik is walking just alongside you. He's keeping closer to Thrall as best he can. With the amount of chain that he has, he's sticking closer to Thrall.
Can I ask him if he's like gonna if we let him loose, is he just gonna run away again?
I won't run. You had me fair
Tell
and
him the
square this
truth.
time.
What time didn't we have you fair and square? And I
Is he telling the
untied
truth?
He is. You spared my life. I will never lie to you.
All right, Ronan, let him go.
I untie him.
Are you...
I wrap the
Grumbling
chain
giant.
around my forearm again. I go, "There's any funny business, I'm cutting you in half." And I just storm off towards Lady Cost's house.
As all of you are leaving.
Before we go, I
Oh,
want to
sorry.
walk over to Patty
Mhm.
and just give her 5 gold. To help rebuild the inn.
That should buy you a whole new inn.
To help.
Oh wait, gold is never mind. I was imagining like I guess what I was
Copper.
imagining was copper. Like here you go. That should help you out.
Here's a $5.
Can I
What's
also?
what's Mr. Stinky
I'm
doing?
and after that, I'm gonna stare at the inn for a little bit longer before heading over to Lady Cost's house.
What's Mr. Stank doing?
So DP, what were you doing?
Oh, I was gonna join Thalia and cast mending on like her burnt clothes and things.
And just kind of patch her up. Okay. She, as like you kind of patch up her clothes. Her and as you and Thalia present her with this gift of coins, she stops crying and just looking up with these teary eyes and holding this money in her hands. She goes, "Thank you. It's a start. It's a start."
Looks like you got a good group of people around you.
She kind of chuckles and puts the coins in a pocket of her apron. She goes, "Well, somebody has to make dinner for the farmhands when they come in." And she kind of, with the help of her friends, kind of stands up, and her eyes are still filled with tears, but there's definitely like, well, let's do it's the determined, like, farmer determination. It's the kind of face you see in like the people that were living in the Kansas Dust Bowl, where it's like, well, this sucks. How are we gonna make it suck the least? Like, there's no use bitching about it. We just gotta do it.
I can help. Wait, what is it 20 minutes it takes for me to poop out food and stuff?
To create food and water.
Yeah.
It'll be 10 minutes for that from your dagger.
And how much does it? It's a lot. I remember.
It's
not
like
that-
40 pounds.
It's like nutritious, but it's not that.
It's
good.
not super tasty.
Oh, maybe they wouldn't like that. Hey, I got you all this food. This tastes like ass.
It's like MREs.
It also
Then it doesn't come back until after a long rest or something.
at dawn it recharges. I think it did 3 charges.
2.
2 charges. So you also need, so it's 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water, which will sustain 15 humanoids for 24 hours.
How many farmhands are there?
Right now, you don't know how many people you're feeding because they're all out in the field working.
All right, let me ask her. Sorry, that was dumb. I'm gonna ask her. How many farmhands do you have? Like, how many mouths are we feeding here?
Well, putting this thing together, probably 60 all together. We gotta. And she looks at you. She goes, "I appreciate what you're doing. Come back here around dinner time. If we don't have the inn up, I'll take whatever help I can get."
She knows I can magically make food. What? Or is this like a common thing that can happen?
Roll me an insight check.
Because me as a human am genuinely confused.
Mm.
Insight. Where is that? That's not terrible. Okay. That's a 19 plus 2. Yeah, so 21.
Is off in 21.
I
This
was making
is
sure it was a plus 2. That's what I was doing. Not
okay.
math. Not
Sorry.
math.
So the general gist, and you from your travels, from running into people like this is that sort of small town farm atmosphere where they won't take help unless they need it. They're very used to pulling themselves up, but this is not a I refuse because you're an elf or because it's magical. This is a point of pride.
So
and
they
you
do have
saw
elf friends. Okay.
They're not elf racist. You also remember from last time when the Longpike Inn burned down, they had the longer Pike Inn up in
Right.
like 24 hours. Like it's like a legit barn raising.
Okay.
And so she's like, when she's putting a hand on your shoulder, she's doing this to not necessarily not embarrass herself, but she's like, if I can't do this, then I'll ask for help. I appreciate it, but I'll ask when I need it, kind of thing.
Just kind of nod my head like, okay.
Anything else before we send you guys to Lady Costs? Take a break as you guys are hoofing it to Lady Costs.
What's Mr. Stinky doing? Is he coming with us?
Stank is currently, like, as you guys start to walk away, he's just kind of standing there watching everybody around him. And most of the people are, now that the building is like starting to burn itself out, people are starting to notice that there's a lone bugbear in the middle of the street. And there's a lot of like whispered and pointing, and groups of men kind of gathered together with buckets and reaching for like pocket knives and shit like that. This Stank is looking around very, very afraid.
Dang,
Can I
let's
just-
go.
Oh. I was gonna just kind of like, Stank, get out of here. Go on, get. And I'm gonna like, if you come back here, I will turn you into that pile of dust. Just like your friend.
That works too.
Get out. Shoot.
Wait, should we just send him? His people are being attacked by things too. Shouldn't we keep him with this chief bugbear man boy?
They need some protection at their home. I don't think he'll come back. I think he'll go on and live his life like a happy little Stank and move on.
Should we ask Stank what he wants?
Stank
That would
is
probably be good.
Stank's looking at he looks at like he's watching Maury like basically just be like, get scram, go get. And then there's all this hubbub talking, and he's just like, he's looking at all of you, and he looks at Keelik, and Keelik just kind of is like, and Stank turns and guns it out of town.
Uh-oh.
And he's just like, he's just running in the direction that Lamy pointed, and he's just gone. And a couple of townsfolk are like, yeah, get out of here, you fucking rat.
Which direction did I point in?
Maury, I apologize. I don't know. You guys make fun of me for having fucking rhyming names. But yeah, Maury pointed him out of town, and he just takes right off and doesn't stop running until he disappears into the tree line just outside of the city.
It'll be
With
okay.
And with that, we'll take a break.
This is the House of Illusions, isn't it?
Lady Cost?
It may
Yep.
be.
Lady Cost is the illusionist, yes.
Lady Cost is
Fuck.
a bitch.
I don't think
No,
she's a bitch.
she's not a bitch.
She's
her
a good
house is a bitch.
Her house,
It's
yes, her house-
confusing.
Her house is really confusing.
And she can speak every language that exists. But she's not even
And
there.
a couple
so-
that don't.
What did I do?
Man, I'm a genius.
Kendrick was just like, "Hey, do you think we should start soon?" And then it was like, "Yeah, okay." We started putting everything together, and I was about to do so, and you dinged in, and it was perfect. Your timing is exceptional.
The gypsy herself. You're
I
now a
think there's a
gypsy.
better. There's a better.
No, it's because of the marimba solo she played. It was called Gypsy Funk.
Gypsy
something?
Tonic.
Gypsy
Tonic.
funk.
So she's now forever a gypsy to me.
There should be a new genre, gypsy funk.
Dude,
Probably is.
I'll do it. I got it.
That's quarantine music to you. Thank you. So, welcome back, everybody. We'll just jump right back into it. We'll pick back up at Lady Cost's house. Reggie, yeah, Reggie has been keeping up just a steady stream of patter as he's walking in. Mostly at Maury, talking about the things that he's come up with, and like, hey, I found like a way to turn like. Just most of his work has been in prosthetics, either like anything as bulky as like we're replacing the whole arm, or just like we're doing the hand, integrating these prostheses into regular people and making sure that they can still function and still provide for their families. And as you guys get to Lady Cost's house, he goes, "All right, Lady Cost showed me how to open this. Give me 1 second." He sort of powers down his set of legs and hops off. Like, okay. Reaches up his hand, puts it on the doorknob, turns and throws it open. And the last time most of you were in this space, I think, Thalia, you're the only person in this group who has not been to Lady Cost's house. Correct?
I don't think Thrall or Maury were ever inside.
I
We'll
don't
make
think
them outside.
Yes, because that's okay. So those of you who have not been inside this house, you just see like him reach up and like really focus on the doorknob and throw the door open, and it opens onto what looks like a dormitory space with several rows of bunks, rows of beds, with a couple of people in them. Only 2 or 3. The rest of these are empty. And as the door opens, a couple of them sit up and they're like, "Oh, Reggie!" And he comes in and he's like, "Hi, Patrick. Hi, Jacob. Hi, Jack. How's it going?" And he starts kind of tending to these people. And as you guys all kind of trickle in, you see that these people are all missing different appendages. Jack is missing, just missing a hand. Patrick is missing an arm up to the shoulder. And Jacob is missing his entire left leg. And they're in various stages of getting new prosthetics attached and integrating them. And as you guys kind of settle in, Reggie's like, "Oh, so I'm going to start working with these gentlemen here. If you go through the door at the end of the hall, and before you open the door, this is going to sound weird. Think about what you want. Think about what you're looking for, and then open the door. Only if one person do it. So, just think really hard and open the door, and you should find what you need."
I'm gonna run to the door.
No. Can I please roll or something to like stop him? Like grab him?
Shoot him with an entangling vine or whatever the fuck that skill
Honestly,
is called.
it might come to that. Can I please try to stop him?
What would you like to do? I can see this is off to an excellent start.
God damn you, Josh. The problem is
I run to the door.
he's a big boy. Wait, you're also running to the
No,
door?
no. I'm just.
Mm,
It's just like I break his
Damn
neck.
it,
But it's just
legally.
funny.
Well, I'm trying to think. He is way bigger than me, so I can't just grab. Can I like try to trip him?
sure.
Because I'm not gonna grab him. I'm gonna go with him if I grab him, and that's not gonna help either. So I'm gonna try to trip him.
Okay. Give
So-
me
would that be a sleight of hand or like not athletics, right? No.
So, how are you? Are you just trying to like stick your leg out in front of him? Or are you trying to like how are you trying to trip him as he runs by?
I will dive my entire body at his legs if I need to. Like I'm basically tackling him, but doing like a football leg tackle. I'm not trying to go for the.
You're trying to
I'm
like
taking
hit his
out
legs
the
and drop
legs.
him.
Taking out the
Okay.
legs.
Okay.
Sweep the
Give
leg.
me. This is not something they train you for in DM class.
Yeah, well, they don't train you to deal with paladins like this.
They
Just kid. You could be
For
it could be way
justice.
worse. It
I
could
skipped
be way
Paladin
worse.
101.
Is this
took lawful
common for
student.
paladins to be like this?
Yeah, is it always the paladin that does
No,
shit?
normally it's the
No.
barbarian. Actually,
Oh, okay.
the barbarian,
Yeah.
the rogue, and the bard are usually the pain. We don't have a rogue. Our barbarian is mild mannered, and our bard is not attempting to seduce everything in sight, which I appreciate.
We don't have a
plant.
rogue yet. Next
Um,
time we have a different campaign.
So give me. So you're trying to grapple him effectively and just drop him to the ground.
I don't even need the. I literally just need to shove my shoulder into his legs and take him out.
Okay.
Like safety is not a
Give me.
concern.
I'll let you do an acrobatics check because
Okay,
you're doing like a diving tackle. Lami, give me a dexterity save to
Got
not
it.
get tangled. This is a contested roll.
Uh-oh, buddy.
So that's a dirty 20.
Are you ready for my roll?
Don't say nat 20.
Oh no.
No.
You
Show me that.
It's only a 14.
don't have any
But
modifier?
total, that's a 21.
It is a 21.
No! No!
So Lami, when you hear think of anything and go to the door, and Lami's eyes light up and he just starts tromping to the door. Lythar, you dive on him and you wrap your arms around him. And you like start to slide down and you're at like mid thigh and he just doesn't give a shit. And he's able to like just like he's not taking full long strides. He's just like he's kind of stepping like a penguin. But he is gunning for that door.
I would like to throw my chain around his feet.
I thought, what's your
Mine or
problem?
his?
You don't even know what I want yet.
Around Lami's feet.
Okay, that will be
Aren't I in the way of his
Correct.
feet?
I'll just wrap around all of you.
No!
that is a ranged attack at
Why do-
disadvantage.
Why do I get put? Can Cora save me in any way?
Wait, hold. So we're gonna let Chris make his attack because you will have to deal damage on this.
Mhm.
Just FYI, you can choose to do minimum damage.
So
Wait.
that was a 14 plus 8.
Oh, thank God. So that's a 22.
which
What's
is
your
a
AC, Lami?
22.
My AC is 21.
So it
Oh.
hits.
Get fucked, kid.
So you're taking these steps. All of a sudden, you hear this chain like whip around and bite into your leg. Chris, are you dealing minimum damage on that?
Minimum damage.
Does
Okay.
that like barely miss me? Like, am I shitting myself at the moment?
the chain, like because you're up at his thighs and you're kind of dragging, it actually whips around his feet and like it whizzes right past your shirt. It actually cuts your shirt a little bit as it whips
Good.
by.
Second time you've ruined my clothes, Chris. Second time. And both were times where we were trying to do something helpful.
But you've got his feet kind of chained together.
Thalia, run to the door.
Wait, do we know what does everyone remember what we're looking for?
Yes,
Nobody
we're trying
even-
to. We're trying
Nobody
to
even
find a
knows what I
thing
wanted.
from
Maybe
Lady
I.
Cost's room of Lady Cost's for the dog to sniff to go find
Yes.
her.
Wolf, not dog, but yes.
maybe I wanted the same thing.
I
Nobody
don't
ever
believe
asked.
that at
I
all.
honestly doubt that.
Maybe I wanted world peace.
I don't
That's
think the room
impossible.
works that way.
Reggie, and hearing all of this commotion, just kind of looks up from his, like, he's got his two, there's a word for these. I'm gonna look these fucking things up.
Spectacles.
Jeweler.
Monocles.
Monocles, yeah, aren't they just? Well,
Mm,
they
it's
might be
called-
different with
glasses.
them.
I know what you're talking about.
Kaleidoscopes.
No.
Oh, the little.
It's a Lupe?
What?
I don't know how it's pronounced.
What now?
Loupe.
Loop.
I think it's a loop.
It's a magnifying glass in German. That's what I got.
It's literally called a loop. Weird. Okay, why put in the E and not just spell it like a fucking normal human?
Do the loop.
So he looks up and he's got his two loops in his eyes, and he just kind of looks up, sees what's happening, kind of shakes his head and goes back to tinkering with Jack's hand prosthesis that he's working with. So Lami, you are restrained.
Yep.
You're are you going to wait? Or are you going to try and bust out of it? Do we get to see the tug of war between the Paladin and the Goliath after 20 episodes?
Is the door open yet?
No.
I told Thalia
one's
to
at
run
the
to the door. I don't know if she did or not.
Is anyone else making a break for it?
I'm on top of
Nope,
Lami.
because I have no idea what's going on.
I also have no idea what's going on.
I will head for the door.
Okay.
If he is going to resist, I would like to put him at disadvantage by I'm on top of him still, I'm assuming. Since he fell, I fell.
Oh, give him a wet willy.
So I'm gonna be like and
So he's currently grappled and restrained.
so could I just get up on my free can I just
I didn't
get
even
up?
say if I was doing anything yet.
You don't need to say anything.
I just want to see what the door's doing. Can I see the door from where I am?
You
laying on
can
the
see
ground?
the door.
Perfect. I'm gonna lay right there on the ground,
You're
in
still standing.
complacency.
You're
Is he
still
telling the truth?
standing.
I'm gonna stand there compliantly, waiting to see what the door does.
Who
So-
telling the truth, Brayden?
Lami about not going through the door or whatever.
About being complacent.
Yeah.
Wait, so am I still wrapped around him?
Yes.
Like
You still have
dangling?
him like by the thighs, and the chain is around it. He's just kind of standing there, like with his hands at his sides. Like he could throw you off at any point, but he's kind of just standing there.
I'm gonna stay there.
Cora is sitting next to Thrall and Keelik at the door, and she's just kind of watching. Just kind of doing whatever.
Just like
And also, yeah, next to Mari and Frank and everybody. So you guys are all standing like in the entranceway as this like kerfuffle happens. So Thalia, as you get to the door, it looks like a normal door. It doesn't look like anything. It looks like an interior door to a fairly nice estate. Nothing looking incredibly out of the ordinary for your to your eyes. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna turn off the bagpipe music in my head. And I'm gonna think about before I touch the door. I'm gonna be thinking about an article of clothing from Lady Cost to help us, or to give to Cora to help Cora get the scent so we can track Lady Cost.
Okay.
Once I do that, once I have that figured out in my mind, like 3 or 4 times, then I will touch the door.
Okay. When you touch the door, you feel there's a flash of heat. That it's like if somebody, like you're feeling a fire through a door for a split second, and then it's cool again. And now it just it feels like a standard door at this point.
All right, I'm still thinking of it.
Okay.
Give it like another 5 times through my head, and then I will open the door.
Okay. When the door opens,
So as soon as the door opens,
Oh my
I'm just gonna shout, I want the shiniest, bestest, biggest, baddest armorist you have ist door.
as the door swings open, there is not big, shiny,
Oh, thank God.
fancy pants armor on the other side of the door.
You just got fancy pants armor.
It's poopy fancy pants armor.
I'm going to undo the chain from his feet while this is happening.
On the other side of the door, it looks like you just opened a wardrobe.
Is there a lion?
No, there's neither a lion nor a witch.
Good.
So when I see that there's a wardrobe, I'm still wrapped around.
Yeah,
him,
you're.
But I want to choose to still be wrapped around for like the next 5 seconds.
I'm just gonna pick Kendrick up.
Oh.
I'm just gonna pick him up, and I'm gonna walk
Oh.
towards the door.
Well, okay, then as I'm being suspended, I'm just gonna turn and look at him and go, I like you, Lami. You're way too unpredictable. This stresses me out, man.
You never know. You didn't ask what I was going to the door for. It could have been world peace.
I don't think I needed to ask Lami.
You never know.
I was more expecting a keg on the other side of that door, to be honest.
Oh, that would be a great idea.
As this conversation is happening, and the two of you are moving up towards Thalia. Thalia, you're pushing this door open, and the door handle doesn't make sense because normally a wardrobe swings out and it's a pair of doors. This one swings in, and the door fits snugly into a recession in the wall.
Okay.
And so you have access to like this coat rack effectively. And inside there is a single piece of clothing hanging on a hanger, just chilling out in there. And it is a dark blue, looks like a riding cloak. Very, very finely made. Lot of very specific, very detailed embroidery and sewing work. This doesn't make sense fitting in this doesn't make sense fitting in the town where it is. But give me a perception check real quick.
Sure.
While she's inspecting this, can I ask Lami to put me down?
Sure. Talking's a free action.
16.
Lami, can you put me down?
No.
It looks. You said you had a 16, Rachel?
Yep.
So it looks very, very similar. It could be faded with age, but it looks very similar to the mayor's colors.
Interesting.
It's definitely a little older, probably a little worn by sun and use, but it looks well maintained and seems to be that same deep royal blue. It's just a guess, but
So is it just the one piece of clothing?
one piece of clothing in this wardrobe.
All right, sniff, sniff. Let's get this ball rolling. Got some robots to fight.
I'm gonna turn around without shoving the door quite yet. I'm just gonna say out.
Who?
I'm looking at Lami.
Is my armor in there?
Out.
Are you sure?
Can you tell him
Out.
to put me down first?
I'm gonna walk away, still holding Lythar.
Is there any way I can like roll to just get out of this?
You can, you can make a dex check against his strength check to try and escape.
Good luck, buddy.
Yeah,
It's like a plus
You can
11
use-
to Dex though.
So
I have a +8 to Dex.
Oh. Thought it was better
so
than that.
you can use it is technically acrobatics versus athletics, I think.
I think that sounds right.
God, yes, it's athletic and acrobatics are the two skills you use.
I'm doing acrobatics to get out of this.
Okay.
Is that what I'm doing?
Yes, that is the skill you will use. And Lami will be using athletics to keep you there.
I got a 19.
I got a 23.
Oh my god!
I have a +8 to athletics, homie.
How?
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
You're
he
a
does.
big dragon.
That's yeah.
It's strength. It's strength
Welcome
based.
to grapples, baby. Also, in case I didn't mention it earlier, and I think I mentioned it while DP, you were away from your computer. You get a point of inspiration for literally like grabbing a table lamp out of God knows where to set up off to your side. If you don't already
for
have
the
inspiration,
content.
literally, yes, he's ready.
I love lamp.
I love lamp.
It's a major reward.
I love the lamp.
Anyway, so yeah,
I
so
hate you, Josh.
Salami is carrying Lythar out by by his collar and just like tom 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 tom.
I too am going to leave the building, and as I'm
I
leaving,
need-
I'm going to look
I need
around and
to-
go, "You have a lovely home," and curtsy, which is 7.
They all look at you super confused because none of them live here. And they're like, "Did that?" And they kind of look at each other, and Reggie's like, "I didn't know Goliaths could do that." Huh? Weird.
So
I go
while
back to
I'm,
Tinker.
I'm gonna
Can I-
look. I'm gonna look at Lythar and go. You think the door will work again?
I
Once
say yes,
everyone
will you
is
let me go?
I think we should find out together.
Well, the whole point of this thing is for Cora to smell this thing, and you guys kind of need me for that
For
to happen.
Core to
and-
smell
and
the
you-
thing?
Cora.
Okay.
So if you guys
Core's
need me
behind the door and Core
to make that happen, you need to let me go. But I will find out with you if you would like that. But I would rather be on my own 2 feet to do that.
You know, Lami, if we find this woman, you can ask her how the door works.
Do you think she'd actually tell me how the door
I
works?
think if we saved her, why wouldn't she?
How do we know she needs saving? What if she's
Because
fine?
she's missing.
That doesn't mean she needs saving. What if she went to the store
Speaking of,
3
I'm
towns
gonna look at
over?
Maury. Maury, help me!
I
I
bet
ignore
you
my
6
car and walk
gold
over
she
to
needs
prospect
saving.
people?
Hold on. Hold the fuck on.
That was so much.
There's a lot happening.
I just screamed for help to Maury. Help me!
I completely ignore Lathar and walk over to the people sitting on the ground with like the missing limbs and stuff. And I asked them, "Hey, have you seen Lady Cost at all?"
Thalia, I think you were saying something like 10 minutes ago before all this nonsense started. We're gonna.
Okay, fair.
Wait, what?
Were you saying you were saying something earlier, and then this was before the like elven takeout thing happened.
Takeout only because of
I don't remember that,
Okay,
unfortunately.
so
She was telling us all to get out so Lami wouldn't try to fuck with the door anymore.
So Lami and Lythar are being escorted and
Oh
currently
yeah,
ignored.
no. Once I see them leave the house, I will close the door.
Okay. So Maury, as you're asking people, they're like, "Oh, the three gentlemen are like, well, normally Lady Cost is in like first thing in the morning to check in on us. And then she normally takes a walk in the morning. Is she okay? She's normally back by now.
Did she check on you this morning?
She did. Nothing
Okay.
was unusual.
Well, nobody knows where she's at, so we're trying to make sure she's all right.
They're like, oh, well, she'll be okay. I think she's been through a lot. I think she'll be just fine.
Okay.
So as Lythar and Lami have exited the building, Ronan and Thrall, what are you two up to?
I also left the building and I'm trying to reason with Lami. I'm betting, Lami, I bet you 6 gold pieces that she needs saving.
Make it 10.
10 gold pieces she needs saving.
Make
Am I
it
still
make it
just being
100.
held?
No, just 10.
You can make another
Make it
attempt to
100.
escape if you'd like.
Yes.
Gonna go with a hard 10.
10 gold
11
pieces.
if you're right.
Can I be at advantage while they are haggling each other? Can I try to slip out of this?
11 if I'm right. Well, I'm always right, so it will be 11.
I think
Okay,
you have
then
a
I
point of
bet you
inspiration.
11.
I do.
No, then you can do that to give yourself advantage.
Yes.
Him being distracted. If Cora comes with you and helps, I can see that.
She
You can
bites Lami's tail.
right in the
gonna
ass.
say.
Dude, she could. Yeah, I feel like by now Cora's definitely like, all right, why is
You need
Dad
to emphasize
being-
the at the
Yeah,
end of
I really
core. Because every time you
This,
go, Cora,
Yeah.
Cora.
The
Cora.
fight
It's
in
Cora.
the fight in Durganvor is going to get really awkward if we keep mixing those two up.
Yeah.
Just
All right.
saying.
So
you name your dog
Cora
There you
Kara.
go.
be there to help.
Okay. So yeah, if you want to make another escape attempt,
Yes, please. I don't like being.
acrobatics at advantage.
That's an 18 plus 5.
At advantage. So roll twice.
That's a 3. So we'll go with the
So it's
18.
keep the 18.
18 plus
Versus
5, so 23.
Lonnie's 23.
Still just acrobat athletics, or should I
So
roll?
it's athletics.
I'm gonna roll.
Because the escapee can use athletics or acrobatics, depending on what's stronger for them. Because are they muscling free or wiggling free? God, if that's a crit.
I don't want this, Kendrick. It's just my life.
Ooh.
I can't get the
At 20. For justice!
Unperturbed.
on that note, as he's struggling or whatever, I'm just gonna throw him over my shoulder like a sack of potatoes.
So he is now facing the opposite direction. This is the exact same pose that he had the constable in earlier.
This is so degrading.
Lami, we need him and his dog to find the lady so we know who has won our bet. Can you
So
put
now-
him down?
Lythar is pissed as fuck. And I'm just gonna be like, it's not a fucking dog. It's a fucking wolf, Ronan. I'll
It's a
bite your
wolf.
fucking face
It's a
off.
wolf.
There it is. I knew I was.
I'm just gonna say, I think the dog can function with him being in this position just fine.
Oh my
It's not a dog. I'm gonna start pounding his back.
Bang, 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 bang.
Cora is sitting behind Lami, and she's just looking up at Lythar. And the look on her face is like, dude, I got nothing. Like, I can't help you right now. You need to calm the fuck down. Is like, if Cora could talk, she would be like, I need you to chill the fuck out.
Seeing that, I'll be like, give one last good little bop, and I'm just gonna accept that I'm being hauled around by a fucking dragon.
Apparently, I just carry you now.
Apparently. We have a gnome, but you pick up the elf.
Yeah,
I'm
gnomes
gonna
are too easy to pick up.
look over my shoulder and go, Thalia, do you have the thing?
All right, is everyone out of the building at this point?
Currently,
Yeah.
I think Maury's
Thrall,
playing with people.
Thrall, have you left?
Yeah,
You
me and Mr. Bugbear have exited the building.
You and Keelik?
Keelik, there we go.
Did he get that name because he used to lick keys?
No.
Was my name an inspiration?
If you wanna ask him how he earned his name, I'm sure he'll answer to Thrall.
God damn it.
All right, so everyone's out of the building.
Everybody except currently Reggie and Jack, Patrick, and Jacob
right,
are still
That's
in there,
fine. So
but
I
they are
closed-
currently
Our
far away from the
party
door.
have left the building.
I closed the door that the magic whatever door. I head out
the
of the
door to
building.
the outside.
I see the antics. I'm gonna point at Lami, and Lami, all you hear is Baby Shark in your head. On loop.
Bam, bam,
And I'm gonna say out loud, this goes away when you put him down.
And I guarantee he'll sit there and go, "Oh yeah,
This is my jam.
this is my jam."
But you hear it like
It
out
gets
of
louder.
tune.
I'm gonna look around confused, very confused.
It stops when you put him down.
How are you making noises in my head?
I'm just watching. I do not answer.
I'm still gonna look at the sky and out of confusion. Does anybody else hear this?
I'm gonna walk closer and closer and closer.
Does it get louder as you get closer?
No, it gets slightly more distorted. And I'm still pointing at him.
Yeah. Yes.
Is it on bagpipes? Just out of idle curiosity.
I hope that it's on a sack butt.
Mm.
On a sack butt and a serpent.
It changed. Once it takes him, at first it's the original version, but seeing that it's taking a minute, it switches to bagpipes.
Okay. Everything about this. Go on.
I'm still very confused, just looking around, kind of in shock, wondering why it's getting worse as she's approaching me.
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh, jeez, it's so loud.
And that's how we get copyright struck for this episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a thing from YouTube saying that all of their people who review videos for copyright strikes aren't there. So
now's the time.
Now
time.
it's just the banhammer of a weird ass computer program they have.
The algorithm.
The algorithm that you just look to the left too many times and it's like, oh, John Williams, can't have any of that in your video. That's how it works.
Poor Al, the YouTube guy.
Poor Al.
Anyway, so Lami, you're currently being orally assaulted by Baby Shark in a bunch of different keys by a bunch of different instruments on a rotating cycle.
I'm just gonna yell and run away from the noise.
No! Why?
Because my intelligence is 9, Kendrick.
9 isn't that bad. That's 1 under average.
It's -1 though.
Yeah, which means you're like a 15-year-old instead of like a 20-year-old. You know that the square peg goes in the square hole.
Okay, as soon as he starts running away, the music's gonna stop and it says, "Do I have your attention?"
Oh.
Yes.
Stop where you are.
Yeah. Yes.
Put the elf down.
I'm gonna look towards my shoulder oh, I forgot I had him.
Did you say that out loud?
Yes.
And I'm gonna look at you and go, "You forgot your."
You don't weigh very much. You're just kind of there, and then I were struggling, and I put this over my shoulder.
That I'm watching.
gonna put him down.
Gently.
No.
No.
I'm just gonna brush him off my shoulder.
Boosh!
Kendrick / Lythar, give me a acrobatics check to stick the landing. You're not gonna take damage. It's just like, do you recover? And
Oh, that's a 7.
plus what, 5?
Yeah. So it's a
Yeah,
2.
you like.
No, that's a 2 plus 5.
Oh Lord. Yeah, you kind of crumple in a heap and you get up and brush the dust off a little bit.
I'm gonna look at him and go, sorry.
I'm just gonna look at him and not say anything. Like a.
I'm going to go and sit down like 10 feet away from Cora and just be like, hello, Cora. I know we got off on a little rough,
So
rocky roadness.
From your conversation with Lami, when Lami took off, Cora just kind of watched and is you're kind of at that distance. So like she's eyeing you kind of up and down, but she's not like, her hackles aren't up.
Okay. I know that we got off on a little rough patch. I'm sorry. You know, it's not every day that you see a wolf walk into a pub, and I apologize about that. But I was wondering if you could help us out with this endeavor that we're on and have a sniff of this coat, and then we as a group can then follow you as a wolf to find this person. I'm just gonna sit there.
Give me an animal handling check.
Do I have advantage on those, or I'm just good at them? I don't have advantage on.
You are proficient. Hilariously.
I am proficient. Which does
How are you
what?
So you're adding 3. You add your proficiency bonus.
Okay, that is a 15. I rolled a 12.
She looks at you.
Oh, I rolled a 13. Never mind. It's a 16.
Great. So she looks at you and is kind of like, there's like a big and she kind of gets up, shakes herself a little bit, and then she turns. And Thalia, is the door open?
No, the door is closed.
The door is closed. So she
I have the coat.
She walks over to you, Thalia, and sits kind of in front of you. And she's still like not quite eye level with you, but not by much. Just because she's such a large animal. And she just kind of sits in front of you and just kind of waits.
I'm gonna sit down, like kneel down and just offer it to her.
Love how we're all afraid that this wolf is gonna bite our face off.
You should be.
I'm not afraid of the wolf.
Oh my god.
But you're afraid of baby shark, so.
Mm-hmm.
It was a new noise.
So as you, kind of present the coat to her, Cora takes a kind of rough, runs her nose around inside the folds of the fabric, and she's like, gets a good sniff. She kind of sits back and closes her eyes, and her ears are kind of turning, listening in a whole bunch of different directions, and then she turns, and her nose is pointed up the road to the north.
To the north.
It's cold in the north.
The north.
Can I see this from where I?
Yeah. I'm assuming are you making your way back to the group, or are you still hanging out with your captor?
No, I am making my way back.
I'm making my way downtown.
So I'm gonna see that she's like pointing.
It's not a full point, but it's definitely like her head is pointing north. North up the road.
So I'm just gonna say, everybody follow her, and I'm gonna say, Cora, lead the way. Let's go.
So hold up.
No, we're going. We're going.
Do you
No more
think-
butts from you. No.
Do you
go.
think
I start walking.
Do you think all of the booze in the inn was burned down?
You're welcome to find out. And I go
I'm
and follow
gonna-
the wolf.
I'm gonna go look at the inn and see if there's any alcohol.
Oh my
Revenge.
god.
Josh,
Okay.
why do you always?
As you get close to the inn, you see that people are like they're putting out the small fires. There's still several large
Returning
beams.
to the scene of the crime.
There's several large beams that are still smoking that no one is touching, just because they're like support beams. They're joists. They're still going to be hot, and people are like kind of just leaving them to the side. And as you walk in, people are becoming increasingly like not necessarily hostile, but they're definitely giving you a wide berth. And as you come up to the base of the gate, you see that like there's basically, aside from a couple of chairs and tables that someone was ballsy enough to run in and grab, there's nothing left of this inn. And as you're standing in the air, you hear a woman's voice behind you.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "Sir,
Hello.
and you turn around, and it's Patty.
Hello, Patty. How are you?
And she's got her hands on her hips, and tucked into her the strings of her apron, is a pretty big looking hammer.
Mm.
And into
Hit
one
him.
of the pockets you see
Hit him in the
nails.
head.
And she goes, "Can I help you?"
Well, I was just gonna look for maybe a keg or two for our new adventure before we departed, but it seems they're all
Burned to the ground.
crunchy.
Yeah. It's interesting. My husband and I never believed in coincidences.
Bless you.
It was terrifying.
Are they okay?
I think
That
that was
sneeze
Kendrick.
came from a villager back from beyond on the other side of the house.
Was that Kendrick?
Back from beyond the fourth wall.
Yeah, from outside the fourth
Holy.
wall of the inn. Fuck, that completely threw me out of that.
That was a very aggressive sneeze, right?
Try
there.
living with it.
She goes, okay. I thought that was Kendrick.
No, that was Abby. My husband and I never believed in coincidences. But after you show up in this town twice, and somehow the inn burns down twice in less than a month? No.
We
No.
built it one time.
No, yes, we did, with no help from you, might I add.
I helped.
What did you help with?
I bought your first purchase.
And she arches that one eyebrow, and you start to notice that a bunch of the other people in the town are like kind of like not forming a mob, but it's definitely mob shaped. The
Mhm.
group of there's a lot of like hammers and some saws and a lot of like commercial carpentry implements that are being hoisted menacingly in your direction.
Get
she
fucked, Lami.
Ooh.
Did anybody go with him?
Nope.
No.
Well, we all had enough of Lami's shit, and now Lami has found himself in a bad situation.
Is real life Lami intoxicated at all, or is this just Lami?
No,
being
this is
Lami?
just him playing the character, man.
Patty arches an eyebrow, and she goes, "Get out."
Well, I'd like to purchase a keg first if I could, but I'm not sure if you have any.
I'm sorry. We're fresh out at the moment. Come back Never.
Well, that's not very nice.
So's burning down my inn.
I didn't burn down
Twice.
your inn. But I could burn down some other things if I'd like, and I'm just gonna flare my nostril.
Oh, you cut out.
Cut out right at the end of your super intimidating pose.
I'm just gonna flare my nostrils, like in the most literal sense, like flames coming out of the nose.
Give me an intimidation check, please.
Okay,
Oh, I hope this bitch fucks you up.
24.
So the rest of the crowd takes a step back. Patty walks up to you and just, it's not a backhand, it's not disrespectful, but she just pap, like right across your snout. She goes, get out.
Rude.
Now I wish I went with. So
I'm gonna walk away and grumble and try to provide a local business with my coin and the.
So the crowd parts around you, and Patty is standing there with her hand resting on the head of her hammer and the other hand just on her hip, and she's just watching you go with just this steel eye, like she's drilling holes in the back of your plate mail as you walk away.
Meantime, how far away did we get?
Smash cut to you. Before we jump away from that was a crit. She crit
That's perfect.
the wisdom save on that, and she was like, absolutely fucking not.
No.
Patty is now one of my new favorite NPCs. Patty don't give a shit about you.
Honey Badger just don't care.
Anyway, so the rest of you, Lami, you're able to catch up because they haven't gone too far out of town. Also, there's a 7-foot Goliath, a half orc with a katana and a bugbear in tow. And just like, it's a motley assortment of
Wait,
people.
we still have the bugbear.
Yes.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
Keelik
he is Jar Jar
like,
Binks, man.
Keelik is
He's
like
with us
locked
now.
in, like right behind Thrall on like off to his left. Like that's just where he's hanging out. Just dead quiet, just walking around and just kind of following.
I'm surprised he didn't make any comments when I was being manhandled.
Skidget Part 2.
With a less obnoxious voice. R.I.P. Skidget. Anyway, so as you guys are all moving your way out of town, Cora is alternating between sniffing the wind and sniffing the ground as she's kind of getting her bearings. And she starts leading you up the main road to the north, just kind of following this central. And as you guys go, you start getting further and further from Longpike itself, and are starting to get into the more overgrown farmlands. You're starting to see a lot of trees, stone dividing walls separating plots of land. But all in all, just a lot of very pleasant rolling countryside. And you guys follow this trail for probably half a mile, half to 3/4 of a mile. She's sniffing. And Thalia, did you take the coat with you?
I did.
Okay. So yeah, every once in a while she's like circles back to you, Thalia, and kind of paws at the like kind of noses at the coat a little bit to get a refresher on the scent.
I like trains.
That's the sound of her smelling.
I like trains.
And so
I don't like you, Lami.
she
I didn't do shit.
she keeps getting the scent, and she eventually, after about probably 30-40 minutes of walking you guys, she turns and starts going down a side road that looks like it leads through a couple of groves of trees, then up a hill, and in the distance you can kind of see this farmer's estate up this hill. And as you guys are making your way through this copse of trees, you're starting to feel
Less.
there's a weird sense of anticipation about this, and Cora seems to have her not necessarily her hackles up, but she's definitely like her head is more swiveling than it had been previously. She's less focused just on the scent. And as you guys come to the crest of the hill, the door slams open, and a boy of probably 8 is running out of the house, and he sees you guys, and it's almost like a cartoon where he locks his feet and just skids and runs right into Ronan.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Who are you, little one? And I'll go down on one knee.
Even on one knee, he's still looking up at you because you're a lot of human. You're a lot of person.
I'll just be like, and what is your name?
My name's Matt. Lady Costa told me to run into town and get help. Are you guys?
We are help.
Oh,
Where
you
is
are-
Lady Cost?
Oh, she's in the back. She wanted to look at. There was, and he looks like he's trying to get the words out, and his eyes start to glisten and well up with tears, and he's starting to hyperventilate a little bit.
Maybe
Yeah,
we
he
should
got
just go inside, little one.
Attacked, and he just starts bawling like only a child can.
I'm gonna pick him up. I'm gonna put him on my shoulder. I'm gonna walk inside.
Why
Calm
did
yourself, child.
Why does everyone gotta pick everybody up?
Because maybe he'll feel safer 8 feet in the air.
I don't.
He once you get him up on your shoulder, he's like he wraps his arm around your neck and is crying like into your shoulder, and he's freaking out.
I'll just be giving him the little back pats on the walk in,
Pats.
and I will walk in the house and be like, "Lady Cost."
Inside the house, it's much plainer. This is sort of like a 1-story wooden cottage with probably an attic, a couple of bedrooms scattered off to the side. The back door is also open, and you see a woman standing there in what looks like a brown cloak, and she's kind of standing just from her back posture. Her shoulders are kind of slumped a little bit, and she looks
She's
like
outside
looking
or
down at
inside?
something. She is outside.
Oh,
This figure is outside of the house. The house itself is currently empty.
okay. And I will continue to that figure.
Okay.
Figure, if you will.
I won't.
What are the rest of you doing?
I'm going.
I'm gonna go in the house too, I guess.
Is he there yet, though? That's what I want to know. Has he caught up?
Yeah, he caught up a while ago.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
He hustled his bustle a little bit. He's also got long legs.
That's true.
Yeah, I'll go outside.
Okay. Who all is staying in the house is really the question.
I'm gonna go outside.
Thrall's outside. Okay.
Should I stay in the house or should I go outside?
Up to you.
Lady
That's tough.
Cost is outside. No one is inside. Inside is
Oh,
empty.
all right. I'm going outside.
I'm outside.
So we have now all
What are
walked
you doing, Marty? I
through
think
the
you're
empty house to the back of the house.
DP, were you
Outside.
muted? What are you up to? I have no audio.
Yeah, you got do the.
Can he hear you?
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes,
There
sir.
you go.
Where's the mute? I'm going to Lady Cost.
Okay. So as you guys kind of walk through this house, Cora has her ears back and is not like she's got her nose pointed to Lady Cost, but she's something's up. Normally that would be a perception check, but everyone I think has a passive perception of higher than 10, and she's a large glowing wolf, so it's not hard to miss. Or so it is hard to miss. And as you guys walk through this and sort of into this smallish farmyard in the backyard, it's probably 40 by 40. There what looks like a small chicken house on wheels, set off to one side.
I love chickens.
There's what looks like a sheep or a goat pen.
I love goats.
And maybe a spot for a cow or two.
I love
Nothing.
cows.
This is not one of the bigger farms. This is nothing super fancy like what you guys saw outside of Cornvor.
Chris,
and-
shut the fuck up.
I love all farm animals. They're so cute.
I
and
love
as-
chickens.
As you guys kind of move your way up, this woman in the brown cloak is just looking down with her hands sort of clasped in front of her, and she's looking down at the bodies of a man and a woman in the back of this farmyard that have been, to put it mildly, they've been shredded.
I'm gonna take the little boy and put him down
I
in
was
the house.
just about to say that.
I'll be
Oopsie.
like,
Ronan's gonna do a big.
yep. You know
So-
what? I'm going to stay like in the doorway of the house within earshot, so I will be able to hear their conversations. But I'm just gonna make like light conversation with the kid.
Okay.
Aww.
And just like
They just
Talk
hang
about-
out, talk
just
about
like hang out.
shapes. Our,
Hang
our
out with
common,
was that your
our common
was that-
intelligence of shapes, colors, and stuff.
was that your first dead body, huh? I remember my first dead body.
God.
Hey, do you remember? I remember when my parents were slaughtered in front of me.
Happens,
So
especially in D&D.
as you're talking with this kid, the kid's name is Matt Ibarra.
I'm
And
gonna
he
ask you to
is
spell that for me here in a second.
perfect. I love that question.
What's the kid's name?
Matt, M-A-T.
Okay.
Ibarra, E-B-A-R-R-A.
Ebarra,
Correct.
and that is farmhouse kid.
That is,
Yes.
yeah. This is his family's farm, and you like just from like kind of once you calm him down and start talking, be like, oh, like this is where he grew up. This is his family's farm. And the rest of you, as you kind of move up, and Lady Costa's kind of standing there, she goes, "Did the constable send you?" She kind of looks up and turns and looks at all of you.
Well, I mean, technically the mayor of Cornforth sent us first, then the constable. We didn't hear about this though.
And she kind of looks around and gives a really condescending chuckle. It's like a of course he sent you. Of course he did. I didn't talk to him for 3 days, and all of a sudden it's a panic. Well, here's the panic. She kind of looks at the two bodies behind her, and she goes, "They were good people."
Is this the first time something's attacked humans? We'd heard reports of the animals, but
Well, look around. Guess what you don't see?
Animals.
Give it to the guy with the pointy ears. And she holds up her hand. She's, no offense. I'm a little under the gun right now, and I apologize for that.
To be fair, he does have pointy ears. You just hear from the house a little ways away.
She goes, "Oh my god. What the hell are you three?" And she looks at Lythar, Lami, and kind of looks past. She goes, "What the hell are you three doing back here?"
Well, you see, there was this portal, and there was this thing, and then there was fire. I was riding a hippogriff, looked real cool. Very, very would recommend.
I'm gonna
But-
meander my way back over towards
I'm
them.
not quite sure
With the kid?
why we're back here.
Not with the
So-
kid. I'm gonna say,
so-
little Matt,
so
you
Matt-
you make yourself some food and just relax in here for a minute, okay?
Make some ramen noodles.
So as you're talking to Matt does that thing that kids do where it's like a wind-up toy. Where he's just like, he's talking, he's explaining like all that had kind of happened that morning. He just like kind of winds down and he just like,
What did happen that morning? Did he tell me important things? Or did he just walk outside and his parents were dead?
he woke up from what he told you.
Feeling
in
like
this,
P. Diddy.
Yes, in fact, this 8-year-old woke up feeling like P. Diddy, despite not having any reference of who that is. He give me a charisma check.
Oh god.
Um,
Oh boy, that is
Good
a
luck with that
10.
Is there a child?
Oh wait,
handling
no, it's
skill?
+1, so that's an 8.
Oh me, goo goo gaga.
actually, because I'll give it to you at advantage because you went out of your way to be like, "Hello, little boy, come with me. I will take care of
Ooh,
you."
that is much better. That is a
That's-
16.
So as he like latched on to the like the biggest adult in the room and kind of like once he kind of stopped crying, what you're able to put together is he basically woke up and normally his parents, he can hear his parents downstairs or he can hear his parents in the other room. And he came out and they weren't there. But Lady Cost was there, and his parents always told him that Lady Cost was like, if he was in trouble, he went to Lady Cost. And so he and Lady Cost went to find his parents. He didn't see, and so like he looked around the house. Lady Cost went out back, and that's when she told him to run into town and get help, to get the constable or whoever would help. Is really all he knows. But he, as he kind of tells that story, he's like, I'm tired, and like with a little bit of like nudging, like the Grinch did to Cindy Lou, just like, here's a glass of milk and here you go. You kind of nudge him into his room, and he crawls into bed and like just falls asleep.
Okay.
So Matt is currently sleeping off something
The
kind of
excitement.
shocking.
Okay.
Exciting might not be the best descriptor.
So, I guess I'll walk up to Lady Cost and go, "You want the long version or the short version? I can make both pretty short."
Well, with a sentence like that, I'm curious what the long version is.
So basically, we left with Kor to go to Korumvor. We were attacked by bugbears. We got to, which was this
Never
bugbear,
mind. Never
actually.
mind. Never
Anywho,
mind. I want the short version.
Okay.
Please, for the love of God.
Kor turned to solid metal, ran away, found a secret city underneath Korumvor, is now lost, and there's a dragon under Korumvor. Then we were sent here through a portal because you hadn't talked to the mayor in several days. We came back to the Longpike Inn on fire. He didn't do it because it was on fire when we got here. Then we dispatched a few bugbears, talked to some people, and now we found you.
Here we are. Hello.
Well,
We picked up a few friends along the way.
I still think he did it.
Well, to those of you I haven't met, hello, I'm Lady Cost. I'm the mayor's wife of Longpike.
Oh, the
May-
town is called Long. Oh. Interesting.
I've only been saying that for the past 2 episodes.
Oh.
At least.
I don't know why I put an R. That's weird.
She's like, to those of you I haven't met, welcome. I wish this was under slightly better circumstances. But we have a problem. This has been, whatever has been attacking, had been attacking just livestock in isolated fields, off far away from people. This is the first time we've had something attack people. This is now a much larger problem.
Dun, dun, dun.
In what way?
Now people are at risk. Animals can be replaced. People tend to be a little more difficult to purchase at the market.
Necromancy.
Mr. Orc, I've thought about it. Unfortunately, my talents don't lie in that direction.
Me neither.
And Kalik kind of taps you, Thrall, on the shoulder. May I speak to her?
You don't have to ask me permission. Go ahead.
And he goes, Lady Witch.
Starting out strong.
And she looks up at him, and there's that, like, it's like in there's like that glint of steel across the word, like that flinty gaze, and she just looks at him, and he holds up his hands and he goes, my people were also attacked by something that left similar remains. I've hunted many things in these woods, and I've never seen anything that does this. Can I help? And she kind of crosses her arms, looks at him, and looks at Thrall. She goes, well, this is interesting. I've never seen a bugbear this subservient to someone outside their kind. What did you do to him?
He lost.
He lost. He's just really into that dominant thing, you know?
God.
Gonna slap
Gee.
life
Can
out.
To
I
make it weird.
can I investigate the remains of the people?
I was
Yes.
gonna ask if anything was missing specifically from them.
Um,
Like their left pinky toe, their nostril, their eyeball. This is a Jeepers Creepers kind of moment.
Who wants to take a peek at these bodies?
I'll assist.
I want to look.
I want to look for metal-y things. Oh, that's not
With advantage because Ronan is assisting.
okay. Cool. Not much better. God damn it. 13.
Okay. As you're kind of like poking around and like looking at this, one, they smell awful, which implies they're reasonably fresh. But as you're starting to look, you find what looks like, and as you like you look over at the larger of the two, bodies, and this body is just basically just shredded. Like you've heard stories of things getting mauled by like bobcats and mountain lions and shit like that. This is like that on a larger scale. Yes, like
Can I make like a, what would it be like a?
What are you trying to find out?
I thought I had like tracking as a skill. I have survival. I thought I had tracking.
So what do you
Like I
what are
was
you
gonna
trying to
see
do?
if there was any type of like
Tracks?
Prince?
tracks, footprints, anything in the area that could determine what might have been there or what, that type of thing.
So
Geralt of Rivia style.
okay, so give me,
Would that be survival?
that would be nature, I think,
Nature?
which I think is honestly better for you.
Am I wrong? Is there not a
No.
tracking thing?
No.
I thought there was.
That might have been in like 3.5 or 4th edition.
Yeah,
Which
I
if
think-
somebody wants to assist with that, they can, because this
I think
is kind
survival is tracking.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Check to follow tracks.
Uh,
on
I'm
wild
I'm
game.
gonna
follow tracks.
ask-
Guide your group through, identify signs that owl bears live nearby.
Owl bears.
Mhm.
So I lied. So yeah, give me survival, because you're trying to identify tracks.
Could I have Cora assist me on that? Like she's also kind of sniffing around a little bit, or would a human have to assist?
I
me?
think to identify a track, I think you need a someone you can communicate with in actual words.
Maury, help!
Me?
You don't need any skill. You just need to.
Maury's
assist me.
digging around
Maury's-
in the body.
You could
Maury
always
and Ren are
ask
digging in the
Lamy.
bodies.
Lamy,
Yeah,
Thrall,
Lamy,
or
you can
Thalia.
ask.
Thrall is
Or-
significantly better at this than all of us.
But does it
I'm
matter
waiting.
if he? Does his skill matter when assisting me or no?
So that would. So, and this is slightly meta-y. Actually, you guys have the same survival modifier. You guys are both proficient in survival. Actually, Lythar's survival is better.
Oh.
Get
So,
fucked.
so like skill doesn't necessarily matter.
You
That
live
just
in
really
trees.
determines like who takes point,
Right.
who is getting the bigger modifier, because the other person doesn't add the modifier.
All right.
They're just adding a second die. So if you want to
For
ask,
some- bitch.
For some comic context, I'm gonna look between Lamy and Thrall. I'm gonna take a big look at Lamy, and then I'm gonna remember what happened in the past 20 minutes,
Lythar will remember this.
and then look at Thrall and go,
Lythar remembers.
"Can you help me track, see if there's any footprints here or anything? Let's see if we can find out if anything was here."
I can.
Will you?
Yeah, I'll help.
While that's happening and your train is happening, I'm going to ask Lady Cost if this is. I'm going to be like, is this where you found them? Did you bring them here? Is this where it happened? Can you give us like what was going on when you showed up here? I'm assuming you can hear me.
that's correct. I'm waiting for the
Okay.
train to go away.
Yeah.
Um,
I was just trying
So-
to talk to take up the train space.
so, Lythar, would you roll on your
I got a 17,
17? Okay,
and then
Uh,
am I advantage? Do I roll again?
Mhm.
you're at advantage, so roll again. So Ronan, as you're talking with Lady Cost, she mentions that she got here for, like early this morning. Found Matt walking around looking for his parents. And this is where she found them. It's been she found them maybe 5-10 minutes before you got here.
Oh. Can I tell how long they have been there?
That would be insight, or that would be perception or investigation, whichever is higher.
Thalia,
Um,
do you want You want to find out how long these things have been here?
I mean, I can try.
I'll help by talking to you nicely while you do it.
So who's rolling?
I guess Thalia, because mine are butts. I'm hoping hers are better. I don't know though.
So this is kind of getting piggybacked onto the investigation check, because you're already helping Maury with this investigation and kind of looking for things.
Well, are we
Yeah,
done
so it'd
with
be
that now?
Maury.
Are we done looking for things now?
He's still investigating because he was looking over like the father, and didn't really see anything aside from the fact that this definitely looks like an animal did this. What was your survival check there, Lami or Lythar?
My best roll was a 17.
Okay. You're seeing it's weird. You're getting multiple types of prints from this farmyard. It's hard to separate what was a farm animal and what was whatever did this. You are seeing in a couple of places large claw marks in the ground. Bigger, like much bigger than they should be, but there's also what looks like a lot of fresh hoof prints, which is very strange. And then there are other spaces where it looks like dust and dirt have been like swept away.
Dragon!
I was gonna say hippogriff.
Wait, do I hear that there's footprints?
Lythar, are you saying this stuff out loud?
I can be like Geralt and narrate everything I see when I'm tracking something. Oh.
Okay.
Terror glows.
I want to cast locate object. And
Okay.
cast it on the red gloves of that stranger.
Within that's within 1,000 feet.
Mm-hmm.
They are not. They are outside of that range.
Dragon!
So, but as you're kind of looking around at all these things, Maury, your investigation as you start to like you finish with the father. Give me another investigation check for the mother with advantage because you're getting an assist.
Got a 16.
Kendrick, why are you excited?
The building was on fire. Dragons breathe fire. Extremely large claw marks.
Oh my
The
god!
bugbears
No, the bugbears
said they
threw
Bugbears already
burning
admitted
oil through the window and
They
set
said they didn't do
patties.
it.
So
They
No,
said
said
they
they
did it.
Oh.
so
Dragons!
Maury, as you're sort of gingerly working your way up through
Fuck
the,
you, Chris.
like around and kind of poking at things, you find what looks like as you kind of shift the body a little bit, and underneath the body is a feather.
Fucking knew it.
Hippogriffs don't breathe. No, wait.
The feather is about
God.
the feather's about 9 inches long.
9 inches.
It's a 9-inch long, gorgeous feather. But when you pick it up, it rings like it's made out of steel.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
And that's where we will stop for tonight.
Oh, you
I'm
got
not
a
ready
metal
to
feather.
stop.
Oh, I have a bad feeling I know what this is.
That's too
Got
much
a bad
blood.
feeling
Mhm.
about this.
I know exactly what this is.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
So
What is it?
we'll leave all the speculation for the post-credit scene. Or we can add that in. But thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you all next week.
Bye.
Dragons!
It's not fucking dragon. So so when you
It's
guys found me,
Hippogriff.
I had little robots in me, the robot cancer, which implies that the hook horror had robot cancer and the hippogriffs had robot cancer. You guys let the hippogriffs loose leaving
No,
2.5
no.
weeks.
Lami let them loose.
Leaving two
Don't
and a
you
half
blame
weeks
me for this.
for them to turn into robot chicken birds. And now there are robot chicken birds flying around murdering people to add to their robot chicken bird army.
Allegedly.
Answer to this plot.
So this
Everything
entire
is Lami's
plot
fault.
is Lami's
Allegedly.
fault for rolling a bad
Allegedly.
animal handling check.
It is all Lami's fault.